I had a plan today, a simple one. Stay in, stay low, let someone else go. I made my coffee, ignored the ping. Committed to doing absolutely nothing. The sky turned wrong, the ground said no. Something cracked, I was trying not to show. I set my cup down, checked the clock and thought, of course, it never stops. Every time I almost make it out, every time the quiet's within reach, something finds me, doesn't even shout, just turns and assumes I'll be there. I don't wanna be the one, I really, truly, deeply don't. But no one else is moving, and I know I won't stand here doing nothing while it all comes down. So fine, I'll handle it and try not to make a sound. I didn't choose this, it chose the wrong person. Well, I'm going, don't wait up, I can't tell. They say I have a gift, I have a life, a vision of quiet and peaceful nights. I sealed it, hid it, filed it away, left it unnamed in a corner to stay. But the world finds what I tried to hide, calls on the thing I never claimed inside. I answer not because I want to, but not answering is worse to go through. Every time I think I've earned the rest, every time I almost set it down, something finds a frequency in my chest that says you're needed, and I turn around. I don't wanna be the one, I really, truly, deeply don't. But no one else is moving, and I know I won't stand here doing nothing while it all comes down. So fine, I'll handle it and try not to make a sound. I didn't choose this, it chose the wrong person. Well, I'm going, don't wait up, I can't tell. I've tried every version of staying out, changed my number, kept quiet, took new routes, acted like I didn't see it, played it small, pretending my hands weren't equipped at all. Every time it finds the door somehow, like the world keeps a record of me now. I clear it, close it, walk away clean. Next Tuesday there's already a new scene. No one asked the one who handles things what she wanted before she got her wings. I wanted ordinary, said it plain. The door stays closed, a window with rain. But here I am, coat on, jaws set, the most reluctant, capable you've met. I don't wanna be the one, I really, truly, deeply don't. But no one else is moving, and I know I won't stand here doing nothing, that part I can't undo. I didn't ask to be this, but I'm here, and I'll come through. Not for glory, not for a legend, just because it has to be done. And if it has to be someone, fine, I'll be the one. After, I'll go back to my corner, back to the cup and the quiet calm. I'll close the door, check nothing, and rest like I've earned it. The world will spin without me tonight. The gates can wait, the stars can breathe, and I'll sit in the ordinary stillness, remembering what I wanted most. Not power, not the rank, not the name, just one day that belonged to me. But when the sky turns wrong again, you already know where I'll be. Yeah, still here. Yeah, I was literally napping when the gate went off. Pulled one eye open, checked the class and scoffed. Triple S tier event, catastrophic scale. I said, give me 5 minutes, I'll be on the trail. They said the city's shaking, people running wild. I said, I know, I felt it, I was here the whole while. Finished my water, laced my shoes up slow, and thought, fine, here we go. Don't throw a parade, don't say my name. I'm not here because I love the game, I'm here because you're all in way over your head, and I'd rather fix it than stay home instead. Yeah, I showed up, don't make it weird. I was going to ignore it, but then it got severe. I'm not your hero, I'm not your sign. I just really hate it when things cross the line. Call it inconvenient, call it a flaw. I keep showing up despite it all, not because I want to, let's be clear. I just can't help it, so I'm still here. Yeah, they steal my power up and called it rest. I said sure, whatever, I'll try my best. 47 days of being very good, doing all the things they said I should. Then a dungeon cracked on a Thursday noon. I sighed so hard it rattled the whole room. Grabbed my jacket, didn't even stretch, and walked in like, alright, what's the catch? Don't write it down, don't make a file. I'm doing this exactly once for a while. I have a very comfortable life to get back to. I just happen to be better at this than you. Yeah, I showed up, don't make it weird. I was going to ignore it, but then it got severe. I'm not your hero, I'm not your sign. I just really hate it when things cross the line. Call it inconvenient, call it a flaw. I keep showing up despite it all. Not because I want to, let's be clear, I just can't help it. So I'm still here. Okay, so here's my problem with the whole thing. Every time I settle down, the alarms ring. I've got 2 lifetimes of muscle in these hands. A star who texts me, an assistant with demands. A past self who died holding work undone. A point tally running since I barely begun. And the universe just keeps on assuming that the one who can will be the one who's doing. Look, I get it, I'm the obvious pick, but obvious doesn't mean I have to like it. I could walk away, I've thought about it twice. Okay, maybe more than twice, not taking advice. Every version of me has tried the quiet life. The rancor in a room that make the sealed up tight. We all end up at the same door somehow. Different names, same tired face, and that's me right now. So yeah, I'm here, but I want it on record that I had plans and this was not in the order. Yeah, I showed up, don't make it weird. I was going to ignore it, but then it got severe. Not your legend, not your chosen, not your line. Just someone who shows up every single time. Call it inconvenient, call it what you want. I'm the thing that answers when the world is in the front. Not because I asked for it, let's be clear, I just can't help it. And I'm still here. Yeah, still here, still here. When it's done, I'll go back to my corner, pull the blanket up and close my eyes. Don't put my name on any wall or poster. I did it, that's enough. Good night. The gate is closed, the mission's far away. I've already forgotten half of what they say. Ask me again tomorrow, I'll say no. But we both know how this goes. Number 1, and nobody knows that's exactly how I like it. So they write forums about my fighting style. I've been scrolling on the couch for a while. Someone drew a portrait of my silhouette. I nearly spilled my noodles with no small regret. The guild recruiter found my building address. I pretended to be a delivery, I confess. I wore a hat, I wore a scarf, I wore sunglasses too. The disguise worked great until I stepped into view. I'm not hiding, I'm just resting, not avoiding, just not getting up yet. There is a difference, a philosophical one, between a hermit and someone who's just done. I'm rank 1, I'm nobody, I'm the myth in the grocery. I'm the legend, buying instant noodles on a Tuesday. I didn't ask to be your answer or your sign. I didn't ask to be the one who guards the line. I'm just a girl who really, really, really needs one uninterrupted afternoon, please. The S-class awakening was inconvenient. I had a stunny schedule and it got bent. The system picked me for a reason, fine, but couldn't it have asked me for a different time? The star above me says she has great faith. I said with all due respect, I need some space. She laughed and said you'll understand in time. I said can you at least fix my ranking? I'm fine. I know the world needs saving now and then. I know I'll probably be the one again. But in between the crisis and the calls, can I exist in peace within these walls? I'm uninterrupted afternoon, please. There are things I never say out loud about what it costs to carry what I'm allowed. Every time I show up, something breaks, and every time I leave, something aches. I made it look easy so they wouldn't fear. I made it look simple so they'd stay here. But easy isn't real and simple isn't true, and I am tired in the way that no one knew. So here I am, rank 1 unranked in rest. I've passed every trial and failed the quieter test, the one that says, do you belong to you, or only to the world that says it needs you too? I'm still deciding, check back in a week. Until then, please, I'm getting some sleep. I never asked for any of this. Just let me sleep. Another day, the sun comes in too loud. I pull the blanket up, ignore the crowd. My rank is number 1, or so they say, but I just wanna find the Wi-Fi today. The system flares up, pings me twice. I swipe it off without thinking twice. They write my name like I'm some kind of myth. I'm just a girl who needs her breakfast, that's it. Don't call on me, I'm staying in. I didn't sign up to be your heroine, but if you push me one more time, I swear I'll show you what's underneath the quiet life. You have no idea what you're waking up. You think this lazy life is all I've got. Watch the ceiling crack and the windows shake. I'm the kind of quiet you should never mistake. Not here to save you, not here to fight, but if I have to, I'll blind your sight. There's a war behind these tired eyes. I just really, really hate goodbyes. I turned down every guild that came. I lost my ranking, good, no shame. Another soul who says they need me now. They always find me, and I don't know how. The contract glows, the sky once speaks. She says I owe her good deeds for weeks. Fine, fine, I'll handle it, and then I'm going straight back to sleep again. Don't call on me, I'd rather hide, but every time I end up on your side, it's not heroism, it's just tired pride, and maybe something stubborn deep inside. You have no idea what you're waking up. You think this lazy life is all I've got. Watch the ceiling crack and the windows shake. I'm the kind of quiet you should never mistake. Not here to save you, not here to fight, but if I have to, I'll blind your sight. There's a war behind these tired eyes. I just really, really hate goodbyes. They call me legend, call me ghost. I'm the one they whisper of the most, but the only thing I ever want is one quiet day without a hunt. One cup of something warm and still, one morning where I don't have to feel the weight of stars above my head, expecting me to rise instead. So fine, I'll go just this once, not twice. Don't get used to it, don't think it's nice. When it's done, I'll disappear again, back to nowhere, back to when the world was small and I was just a girl who fell asleep before it all unfurled. I've been quiet for so long, I almost forgot. They sealed it shut and told me this was peace. They said the quiet life would bring release, and I believed them, or I tried to, at least. Kept the power low and called myself decreased. But power doesn't vanish when you lock the door. It waits, it coils, it presses at the floor. And in the middle of an ordinary day, It reminds me of the things I gave away. I don't wanna be a legend or a name. I don't want the world to tremble when I came. I want one morning where the sky is just the sky, not a reminder of the things I can't deny. But I am still not broken. I am still not gone. Every word I haven't spoken is a blade I'm sharpening on. This silence is an emptiness. It's everything contained. Every mountain I could level, every storm I have sustained. I am sealed, not finished. I am waiting, not afraid. One day I will come open, and I pray you're not dismayed. They gave me numbers, gates, and ranked me low, as if a category could contain the glow. I played along, it was efficient, clean, to let them think I was less than what I'd been. But every dungeon cleared, I thought of old, of how the enemies would tremble at the cold, of how a word from me would end a war, and how it still would, were I as before. I don't need validation, I have proof, written in the marrow, carved in truth. I just want the luxury of choice, of being seen without this careful voice. But I am sealed, not broken. I am still not gone. Every word I haven't spoken is a blade I'm sharpening on. This silence is an emptiness. It's everything contained. Every mountain I could level, every storm I have sustained. I am sealed, not finished. I am waiting, not afraid. One day I will come open, and I pray you're not dismayed. There are things that even I am afraid to feel. The tenderness, the way your kindness almost heals. I have been so strong for so many years. That softness now is what I most fear. But here it is, the crack, the light, the seam, the place where I am more than what I seem. Not the legend, not the weapon, not the war, just the girl who needed something more. So I carry it, the weight of what I am, in every quiet choice and every plan. Not because they asked, not because it's fate, but because I choose to shoulder what is great. I am sealed, but I am mine. I am waiting for my time, when the seal breaks and I rise. I will meet my own eyes. I helped an old man cross the street today. How nice of me. 19 years of living quietly. This body is so small and they can't see. I've ruled kingdoms, flattened mountain ranges. I've watched 100,000 seasons changes. But now the system says I need to earn each fragment of my power in return, by smiling at the cashier holding doors, by doing things that everyone ignores. It's fine, it's manageable, it's almost fun to be the one who's technically undone. They clipped my wings and still I do not fall, because even half of me is more than all. Call it a good deed, call it what you problems at your door. That's not charity, that's what I did before. Don't thank me with your trembling, grateful hands. I'm just collecting what the system demands. One day I'll have it back, the full extent. Until then, every small good deed is meant. The dungeon boss was nothing much to me. C-ranked, I think. Adorable. Agree? I patted down the rubble, found the scared, and told them very calmly to be prepared, because the city has a pest control issue, and I'm the only one who knows what's coming through. The system chimed and granted me a point. I smiled and thought, this really isn't my joint. But something shifts, a warmth I recognize, not from the praise, but from the smaller ties. A child who waved, a woman less afraid, a life that went on, one that didn't fade. Call it a good deed, call it what you want. I'll help you carry that and cross this front. The monsters you can't handle, the problems at your door. That's not charity, that's what I did before. Don't thank me with your trembling, grateful hands. I'm just collecting what the system demands. One day I'll have it back, the full extent. Until then, every small good deed is meant. Once I was the thing they feared in dark, the name that stopped the beating of the heart. But this small life has edges I don't know, a gentleness I hadn't meant to grow. I do not know if this is punishment, or if the system knew what it had meant, to take the sharpest blade there ever was and teach it what the softer cutting does. Another day, another deed assigned, another thread of power back aligned. I'll smile and sign the forms and do my part, and tuck the old world back behind my heart. For now at least, I'm being very good, just like the system said I always should. But when I'm whole again and fully free, God help the ones who tried to limit me. This feeling in my hands, I've held a sword before. I stir the pot and watch the evening blur. Dad's cooking is a crime, but it's familiar. Something tastes off, something in the air, like ash and cold stone and a life I didn't share. But then it surfaces, the gate, the hall, the banners of a house I gave my all. I was the one they called to guard the door before the night they took me to the floor. Two sets of hands, two different names, two different faces, wearing the same veins. I carry both, I carry neither whole, just echo stitched together in my soul. It didn't happen to me, and yet it did. The girl I was before the life I lived, she trained for years and died without a word. Her story carved in bone before I heard. I won't forget her, I won't let her fade. She is the reason I still draw my blade. Two lives, one body, one unfinished debt, the kind of thing you carry and don't forget. The hunter's gate appeared like like clockwork clean. I stepped inside like I had always been. The stance was hers, the grip was hers. The way I moved through shadows, muscle memories say. They asked me how I bite with such control, like something older lives inside my role. I do not answer, just adjust my grip and finish what she couldn't on that trip. Two kinds of grief, two kinds of pride. One that was buried, one that still survived. I mourned for her when the dungeon's cleared, and I'm the only one who knows why I'm here. It didn't happen to me, and yet it did. The girl I was before the life I lived. She trained for years and died without a word. Her story carved in bone before I heard. I won't forget her, I won't let her fade. She is the reason I still draw my blade. Two lives, one body, one unfinished debt. The kind of thing you carry and don't forget. There's a moment every time I catch my breath where I can't tell whose lungs are feeling this. Is it hers or mine that wants to live? Is it hers or mine that has something left to give? I used to think that dying meant an end, but she came back through me, and here we stand. Not broken, not erased, just rearranged. Two women, one path, still estranged. I set my bowl down in the quiet night. I feel her hands align within mine. Right tomorrow, there's a gate I have to clear. She'll be with me, she is always here. Not a ghost, not a shadow, not a name, just the other half of something I became. Two names, one body. Let's begin. I wake and check the gate report at 6. Then shower, dress, and find my commute fix. The train is late, the platform's cold and gray. A normal Tuesday stretching through the day, except for how my hand knows the grip angle, except for how I read the threat in every angle, except for how I stepped aside on the train from a pickpocket so smoothly, no refrain. I don't talk about the past life much. It tends to startle people over lunch, so I just say I've always been like this, and let them fill the silence as they wish. Double shift, double life, one hand on the pen, one on the knife. Not dramatic, not a chosen fate, just the sum of what I carry to each gate. She died with work unfinished in her hands. I'm finishing the job she never planned. This is not a burden, not a curse, just someone else's chapter in my verse. The dungeon boss tonight was something old, something from the world I knew in cold. My body recognized the stance before, my mind caught up a second, maybe more. I moved in ways I haven't practiced here, from a training ground that's half a life unclear. When it ended standing in the quiet, I thought she would have handled this with pride. I don't know where she ends and I begin. I don't know whose voice I'm speaking in, but both of us agree on what must be done, and so we move together, two and one. Double shift, double life, one hand on the pen, one on the knife. Not dramatic, not a chosen fate, just a her the silence stuns, to tell her I remember everything you did, to tell her someone carried what you had. I would have said you didn't have to fight alone, that loyalty like yours deserves a home, that every scar you wore without complaint is something I will honor without faint. So I log the mission, I close the file, I pour a glass of water, rest a while. Tomorrow there are gates and forms and things, and underneath my jacket memory sings. She carried it so long before I came, I'll carry it with care and speak her name, not loud, just in the places that remain, in how I hold myself through joy and pain. She found me in a dream I didn't start. She said, I've watched you for a very long time. I said, I noticed you were watching, and it's fine. She said, you carry more than what you know. I said, I've always carried more, that's how I grow. She said, I have a proposition, small, precise. I said, before you continue, name your price. She laughed the way the ancient things all laugh, like she'd already read the second half. I didn't sign the contract with my eyes open, I signed it in the middle of the night, with something wiser than myself deciding, and something scared of being all alone. The star asked me to stay, I asked her what she'd need. She said, nothing that you haven't already learned to be. The star asked me to carry, I said I always have. She said, then this should be easy. I said, nothing ever is, but I agreed. Somehow I always do, because the sky above me felt like something true. She says she sees the future branching clear. I say, then tell me which branch ends up here. She says, the one where you decide to rise. I say, what if I like the one where no one tries? She says, you'll try regardless, that's your make. I said, that's either a gift or a mistake. She laughed again, familiar and far, and I said, you're not as alien as the stars. This is the oldest kind of agreement between the earth and what the sky contains. Something passes back and forth between us, neither whole without the other's weight. The star asked me to stay, I asked her what she'd need. She said, nothing that you haven't already learned to be. The star asked me to carry, I said I always have. She said, then this should be easy. I said, nothing ever is, but I agreed. Somehow I always do, because the sky above me felt like something true. What does a star owe a human, I wonder? What does a human offer past the thunder? I am not her instrument, I am not her hand, I am someone she believed in, and I try to understand that belief is not the same as being right, that faith is not the same as giving up the fight, that even chosen things can choose their way, and even ancient stars So she watches, and I walk beneath her light. Not owned, not wed, not safe, just held in sight. Two old things in a young world's frame, learning what it means to share a name. I said goodnight, she said I'll see you soon. And somewhere between the gate and the moon, I thought, this is the strangest life to live, but also the only one that I would give. One good deed recorded, I'm keeping score, you know. 2 more to go until I get back what's mine. Good morning, I helped a stranger up today. The system noted deed complete, okay. 10 points returned, the seal loosened a notch. I'm watching every number on my watch. The little sparrow nest I moved from harm secured me 7 points in both my arms. I smiled the way you're meant to when you care, and only I could feel what hid in there. I'm not complaining, truly it's been fine. The fresh air and the helping and the signs. I've learned that sunsets are quite beautiful, and kindness, while annoying, is useful too. I'm keeping tabs on every single thing, on every door I held, every song I sing, on every time I stepped aside for grace, and every time I smiled into a face. You think I'm changed, I haven't changed at all. I'm just counting to the number of my fall, the number where the system sets me free and shows the world what I was meant to be. I'm running tabs, I'm almost there. I'm sweetly, kindly, dangerously near. The dungeon run this week, I let them lead. They're growing quite impressive, yes indeed. 16 good deeds in Sunday current streak. My power level climbs by points per week. I stopped a theft this morning at the square. I told the thief to please consider prayer. Here and I noted deed complete once more. The system said you're close, keep up the score. I wonder when the total will unlock, if the morning will arrive without a clock, if I'll remember all the small things done, or only the great old weight of what I am. I'm keeping tabs on every single thing, on every door I held, every song I sing, on every time I stepped aside for grace, and every time I smiled into a face. You think I'm changed, I haven't changed at all. I'm just counting to the number of my fall, the number where the system sets me free and shows the world what I was meant to be. I'm running tabs, I'm almost there. I'm sweetly, kindly, dangerously near. Let me be very honest for a moment here. The good deeds, they've been genuinely sincere. Something in this life I didn't plan to feel turned out to have its own peculiar appeal. But do not misread softness for a changed core. I am still the thing I was and will be more. These points I've earned have edges sharp as night, and when When the gate closes and the dust settles and everyone else has gone home. I stood in the quiet of the emptied hall after the lights came up and after the fall, after the forms were filed and the records sealed, after the wound I carried had almost healed. This is the part they don't put in the accounts, the long walk home, the small things that amount to something I can only barely name. The way a person feels after the game. Not a hero, never asked to be. Not a weapon, more than weaponry. Just a life that happened to be very large. Just a girl who took on more than her charge. After the gate closes, after the names are called, after every version of myself has given nearly all, I am still here, still standing in the space between the old and whatever comes to meet me, whatever I am told. This is my life, this is my choice, this is the weight I lift. Not because the world demanded it, but because this is the gift of being someone who could and did. Show up when it mattered most and stayed when all the others became a fading ghost. I think of all the things I thought I'd lose, the quiet mornings, the small personal news, the versions of a life that didn't end, in gates and ranks and broken things to mend. I lost some of them, I won't pretend it's fine, but something else grew in the empty line. A clarity, a choice made in the air, a self that showed up, chose to still be there. Not without cost, I paid it every cent. Not without grief, I meant it when I bent. Not without fear, I carried it and went. Not without heart, that was my whole intent. After the gate closes, after the names are called, after every version of myself has given nearly all, I am still here, still standing in the space between the old and whatever comes to meet me, whatever I am told. This is my life, this is my choice, this is the weight I lift. Not because the world demanded it, but because this is the gift of being someone who could and did. Show up when it mattered most and stayed when all the others became a fading ghost. If I could speak to every version of myself who sealed their power away and sat on the shelf, who filed the poems and wore the quiet coat, who cleared the dungeon and forgot to gloat, I'd say you did it right, the way you held the line in your own light, the way you showed up, even tired, even done, the way you didn't run. You were enough, you've always been enough. The world just needed you to prove it rough, but underneath the rank and gate and name, you were the same. You were always the same. And now the gate has closed, the mission done, and I am standing here beneath the sun. Not the legend, not the number, not the code, just the one who chose to carry down the road. I'll rest today, I'll find the quiet things, the cup, the window, what the morning brings. And when the system pings again, I know I'll close the tab, I'll breathe, and then I'll go, because this is mine, this life, this strange and heavy grace, and I will meet it with a familiar